Hello and welcome.
Today we will be discussing change and the effects it can have.
We will also look at ways you can positively manage change in your life.
Change is difficult. It can be scary to think of what life will be like when you have to give up the things that are most important to you.
Change can seem overwhelming and impossible to deal with, but it's important to remember that change is an inevitable part of life.
There are many different ways people deal with change, but one thing is for certain. Changes aren't always bad, but can create feelings of anxiety and depression in some cases.
It can be hard to cope with change, especially if it's sudden. This kind of stress can result in both physical and mental problems. For instance, you might experience things like anxiety, appetite changes, depression, or sadness, irritability, muscle pain, problems sleeping, upset stomachs, and tension headaches.
It's important to have a range of strategies in your life, which you can draw on to help your mental health. This will set you up for resilience, as well as making it easier to adapt in the event of any major changes.
The way we manage our changes will affect the way we feel. This includes how happy or content we feel. When you are feeling a lot of stress and anxiety, it can be hard to make a change in your life because you are not sure where to start.
If you are content with the changes you have made, then your life will be a more fulfilling and happy one. But if you are not, then your life will be a more unhappy and unfulfilling one.
One thing that affects how we manage change is the environment in which we live and the people we surround ourselves with. For example, if a person is in an environment where they are constantly surrounded by negative people and their surrounding friends are not supportive of them, then that person will most likely have a hard time managing their current situation.
On the other hand, if a person is in an environment where they are constantly surrounded by positive people and their surrounding friends are supportive of their change in circumstance, then that person will most likely have an easier time managing the situation.
If you are resilient, then you are more likely to bounce back and adapt with relative ease. Resilience is defined as the ability to withstand adversity or pressure. Resilient people have a positive outlook on life and they can put themselves in other people's shoes. They know how to deal with difficult situations and they are not easily discouraged by setbacks.
So how do you prepare yourself? The first step is realizing that change is coming. If you are not aware of the changes, it will be difficult to make the adjustments. There are many ways to prepare. The most important thing is to be proactive and not reactive, so you can better handle the changes when they happen.
There are many benefits to altering your mindset when it comes to change. When you take this approach, you are able to see potential in what may seem like a bad situation or opportunity. You also become more open-minded, which makes it easier for new ideas and opportunities to come your way. You also become more confident in yourself and your abilities, which helps with any fear of failure or rejection from others who may oppose your ideas.
Let's look at this example. There has been a change in your employment and your hours have been reduced. Typically, you enjoyed regular overtime and having the extra money. Now the overtime has been cut due to budget constraints and you have a few debts that are now going to be difficult to manage. Here are some options you could consider. Selling a few unused items to free up some capital may help.
Talk to a financial advisor. A financial advisor will be able to answer any questions you have about your finances and help you plan for the future. Some people may be hesitant to talk to a financial advisor because they do not know who they are or what they do. A financial advisor will work with you and discuss your needs in order to provide the best possible service.
Discuss with your bank about consolidation of your loans. Consolidating loans is the process of taking out a new loan to pay off all or some of your old loans. This can help you save on interest payments, lower your monthly payment, and make it easier to manage your finances. The benefits of consolidating debt are that it reduces the number of monthly payments, which can be helpful for people who are struggling to keep up with their bills. This is especially true for people who have a lot of credit card debt. It also reduces the total interest paid over time, which can save money in the long run. Finally, it helps people get out from under their past mistakes by giving them an opportunity to start fresh with a clean slate. These are only some ideas, but you get the picture.
Thinking of options with potentially positive outcomes will help in dealing with change in your life. Put any worry aside and think, how can I make good from a potentially bad situation? Think positive and don't focus on the negative. When we worry about things, it is easy to get lost in a cycle of negative thoughts that have little value for us or anyone else. This is because when we worry about something, it triggers a cascade of neural activity in our brains that leads to more worrying thoughts and feelings. When you are stressed or worried, it is hard to think positively. We often feel that we cannot control our thoughts and worries, but the truth is that we can. We just need to take a step back and think about what is really bothering us. Once we identify the source of our stress or worry, we can start to work on ways to reduce it.
So what are some good things to do when dealing with change? Holding on to some sense of normality can be a useful way to minimize stress and find comfort, as it makes us feel more in control of our lives and gives us a chance to take care of ourselves. Some people go to such lengths as watching their favorite TV show or listening to their favorite music for just a few minutes every day. Others might be more inclined to spend time with friends and family, or go through photos from happier times. It's important to know what helps you stay grounded and healthy, so you can use those practices when you need them most.
Reach out to friends. Friends and loved ones can help in various ways. They can offer support to cope with life changes. Friends and loved ones can provide a sense of normality when life gets turned upside down. They will understand what you are going through and be there for you to share the burden with. It will help you keep your sense of humor as well as offer moral support. The presence of friends and family members is important to get through the initial days of a major life event, especially when one is in the hospital or following an unfortunate event such as a natural disaster. They provide an emotional reality check when needed and can help the person explore what changes might be the best fit for them. They also share in the person's joy when things are going well, which helps them feel supported even during tough times.
Maintain good health. It is so easy to lose focus when you are in the thick of things, but it's essential to take care of yourself both mentally and physically. You need to make sure that you are getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, and exercising on a regular basis. This is especially important if your job requires long hours and is fast-paced. But even if your company has more traditional working hours, they could still be demanding. Taking care of your physical health is a crucial step in taking care of yourself emotionally. Ensuring that you take some time for yourself to eat a healthy meal is also an important habit.
Eating well is very important to our health. When you're in a rush, it can be easy to make poor food choices, like grabbing whatever is available rather than making something that's actually nutritious. But eating well doesn't have to be difficult or time-consuming. It just requires some preparation and a willingness to prioritize your basic needs for physical, mental, and emotional health above everything else.
Meditation can also help when dealing with change. Meditation is the act of focusing on one thought or idea and letting other thoughts pass until finally you find yourself in a state of mind clear enough to function. You are in a state of restful alertness, wherein your mind is still receptive to input. In resting calmly and attentively, the body undergoes many healing effects. There are many benefits of practicing meditation. A few of the most popular ones include improved focus, increased happiness, and reduced levels of stress. It also teaches you to be in the present moment and live a more mindful life.
You may also reduce the effects of change by petting cats. Cats are a calming presence, and scientific studies have shown that petting one reduces stress. A study on the effect of animal contact found that petting a cat is more effective at reducing stress than playing with a dog or interacting with other humans. This could be because cats are usually quieter and less active than dogs, and they don't need as much attention or energy as humans. There are also anecdotal reports of cats being able to help people with conditions such as depression and anxiety. Some patients have even been prescribed therapy cats.
Instead of thinking about making the best decision and finding the right outcome, it's always worth asking yourself what is the worst that can happen as a result. We often fear change because we're hesitant to enter into unknown territory. A good way to deal with the unknown is to put in the time and effort it takes to think things through carefully. Imagine different worst-case and best-case scenarios for the situation. Writing down these scenarios may help you formulate a positive outcome. One way to know you can get through a big change is by remembering the time when you faced a similar change and overcame it successfully. If a change is going to affect your life, the most important thing is not to take actions to avoid the difficulty of dealing with it. One example of deliberate avoidance might be to miss a training session for a new working process, or showing up late to a meeting about an upcoming restructure. Avoidance will do nothing but ensure a negative outcome, unless you take action to seek a positive change.
Change can be broken up into 4 categories. This includes shock and disorientation. This is the feeling of being overwhelmed due to an event. It can be experienced in the form of stress, fear, or confusion. People may feel shock and disorientation when they are going through a difficult time in their life, such as divorce, death of a loved one, job loss, or any other event. This state of shock may be so overwhelming that it causes a person to experience symptoms like PTSD, which could lead to severe anxiety issues. Shock and disorientation can be caused by some other events like violence, natural disaster, or car accident that might lead to feelings such as paranoia or severe depression.
Anger and other emotional responses are also quite common reactions when faced with change. There are many times that you might end up getting angry. If you've been following the news, these days we are more exposed to anger-inducing incidents than ever before. It's not always easy to deal with an emotional reaction like anger when it comes over us. So if necessary, it may be best to take a few minutes and calm down before responding in any way. The following are some tips that you can use when dealing with your anger. Try talking to a friend. Take a walk. Try journaling about how you're feeling. Clean out your phone or email inbox. In most cases, minor irritations and major frustrations can be managed by taking a deep breath or 2. This will give you time to think about how you want to respond. For example, if someone cuts in front of you in traffic or someone spills coffee on your shirt at work, this won't solve anything, but it will provide some time for you to collect your thoughts before reacting with anger.
A significant change in our working environment can be difficult to deal with initially. We are all experiencing a heightened sense of anxiety, some of it warranted, most of it not. But what we should be doing is living our lives and not cowering in fear. The point isn't to fear the future, but rather to be fully present and conscious while we experience it.
Eventually, we all experience an acceptance of change. In order to move forward, we need to accept it. There are too many things coming out of nowhere, and we can't stop them from happening. It's only when we accept them that there will be a chance for us to deal with it.
Many people are unsure about the changes that are happening to them and the world around them. Sometimes, these changes can be anxiety-provoking or even cause people to have a feeling of uncertainty. For some, it causes great worry and anxiety. The person who is the most positive and actively approaches a problem will ordinarily be the one to find the solution.
Looking for solutions instead of problems is a good way of thinking positively, and it leads to involvement. Asking how we are going to solve our problems can be the answer. We often think that asking the question will create more problems, but it can also give us clarity.
Positive thinking is a way that you maintain a healthy mental attitude. You are more involved and engaged in life, and the things you do can be beneficial. The way you will see the world is at a higher level of optimism with a new perspective. It can be helpful if you have problems or difficulties, but it doesn't make them disappear or go away.
There are many ways to stay positive, such as keeping a sense of humor, focus on the good things happening, and being grateful for everything that happens in your life. We have to take responsibility for what we think and feel because we have control over ourselves. Our thoughts become our reality, so it's important that we consciously choose what we want to think about and how we want to feel about change.
From all of us here at A Touch of Lime, thank you for watching our presentation.
We hope that we have given you some insight on how you might manage change in your life. Please like, comment below, and subscribe.